Are you ready to take an insane culinary tour around the world? And I mean every single country around the world? Well, get ready. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this is Trent's Taste of the World. The dish we're doing today is a dish that dates back to over 4,000 years ago from the country of Turkmenistan. Now, this actual mung bean originated in the Indian subcontinent, dating back to 4,500 years ago. Now, this particular soup, there are many different versions throughout northern India and Central Asia. Now, over time, this mung bean has made its way from the Indian subcontinent to Central Asia, over to the Levant region of the Middle East, North Africa, and parts of the Balkans region of Europe. Now, about 15 plus years ago, you used to have to go to one of these specialty markets, you know, like an Indian market in one of those strip malls or a Middle Eastern market in order to get these beans. But today, they're readily available at your local grocery store. Kroger carries them, H-E-B, Randall's, Albertsons, Safeway, Walmart. You can get these anywhere today. Now, there are certain spices that you have to go to specialty markets still to this day in order to get those. But a lot of it's becoming more available in American grocery stores than what they were about 10, 15 plus years ago. So these were bought at an Indian grocery store because I had to actually pick up a couple of other things that you can't get in an American grocery store. So I just picked up everything that I needed there. Now, if you translate the Indian script into Roman script, it would be spelled M-O-O-N-G. Now, in the English language, this bean is spelled M-U-N-G, the mung bean. Well, these are called Mung whole beans, and this is what they look like. They're about half the size of peas. And, you know, it's like any other grain. Once the water hits it, it's going to do their thing. You know? So these are very healthy for you, by the way. Now, this particular dish calls for about 3/4 to a pound of lamb, preferably shoulder meat, which is what this is. This is actually stew meat, which is from the shoulder of the lamb. That's what's recommended for this dish. Now, you can use the loin, you can use all kinds, but it's definitely recommended to use the shoulder meat. So what we want to do now, we're going to put the meat in a colander, and we want to rinse it really well. Rinse your meat real good. And then we're going to pat it dry. And there's our meat. So we want to put this on here, and we want to pat it dry. It's always good to rinse your meat. And that's good enough. And there we are. Now for the last ingredient, we have to blanch our tomato so it's easier to peel and then dice. Make sure you put salt in this, helps speed up the boiling process, and we're ready to do it. All right, let's get her washed. Let's wash her off real good. Always wash your vegetables. Now let's get it over to the boiling water. We're going to go for about 30 seconds. Just enough to blanch this. It'll be easy to peel, and we're off to the races. Move it around a little. It's always good, especially a tomato this big. It's good to turn it. Spin it around in there. There we go. See, it's starting to break. When the skin starts to break, that's when it's time to pull it. And there we are, blanched. You see that? That's what you're looking for right there. All right, now we want to drop this in the ice bath. Seems our ice is melted, so I came prepared with another bit of ice. We'll let that sit in there, cool down a little, and that skin's going to peel right off. All right, it's perfect. Perfect it is. And look how easy that skin peels right off. It's always best to blanch it. If not, it's going to be a job to get this skin off. Just going to give it a little rinse. We'll get it over here. And here we are, folks. This is all the ingredients that goes in the mung bean soup. We have our lamb, our rice, our mung beans, our tomato, our onion, our carrot, our salt, pepper, and of course, the one and only thing that I added to this are the peppers. I've got to have heat. And that's one reason I went to that Indian store, because they have these special kind of peppers and they're so perfect. The heat is just right. Most folks can only stand maybe 2 diced up in there. For myself, 4. Always. Okay, now we're fixing to start browning our lamb. And in order to start that, we've got to start out with 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Now, this is some great olive oil that I got at H-E-B. This is the best. It's my favorite out of any olive oil. It's very green. It's very rich. And it does the job tremendously. All right, so here we go. Yeah, that should be enough. Now we can go and get our heat going. Now we need to brown this meat on medium heat, about 5 to 10 minutes until it releases its juices. And then we're going to go ahead and throw in our carrots, onions, and the salt. So tomatoes as well. All right, let's go ahead and get our lamb in. Remember, do this on medium heat. We'll let that brown up a little bit. We want to continue to stir it. Something like this, you really only need to do it for maybe about 5 minutes, really. Then we'll go ahead and add our onions, carrots, tomatoes, and salt. And then we're going to saute for another 10 minutes. Now, as you can see here, it's released all of its juices, but the meat is still red because it's going to continue to cook during the simmering process. So let's go ahead and get our other ingredients in here. And our onions, make sure you get them all out. Put in our carrots. Let's go ahead and put in our tomatoes. And don't forget the salt. Salt is very important. Kosher salt is what is recommended for this dish. There we go. Now we're going to go ahead and continue to cook this for about another 10 minutes on medium heat. So we're going to stir it up. Let's get her stirred real well. It's always great to use an enamel-coated cast iron Dutch oven. This is great for dishes like this. Any kind of stew, especially wine base. And the reason I say that, wine base, if it's an actual Dutch oven that's just cast iron without that enamel coating, it could cause your seasoning to be eaten up. I mean, it will strip that seasoning clean off. So you definitely want to make sure that you use something that's enamel or stainless steel. All right. While that's going, and we got 10 minutes for this to simmer, we got the timer going. We're good there. Right here, we have 7 cups of water. We're going to boil this, bring it to a boil. There we go. Get it going. And once that comes to a boil, then we're going to be ready to combine all of this. Okay, now what we're going to do is rinse our mung beans. I'm going to get these rinsed off real good, just like rinsing rice. We'll just let that sit there and drain really well. This is going to go in our meat mixture as soon as we hit that 10-minute mark. All right, it's coming along nicely. And we're fixing to add in our mung beans. And we're going to let that go for about another 20 minutes on low. All right. Let's go ahead and get this going. Now we're going to do it uncovered. You don't cover it. Water's coming to a boil, which is perfect because that's what's next. And our timer just went off. Now we can lower it down to 2. And let it simmer on 2. All right, there we go. Now let's get our boiling water in. Go ahead and cut that burner off. There we go. There we go. Just like that. And give it a good stir. Then we're going to set the timer again. We're going to go for another 20 minutes. And the last to go in will be the rice. I almost forgot my little addition. The peppers. Got to put the peppers in there. We're not going to put the black pepper in until we put the rice in. All right, get all those seeds in there. We want that heat. Seeds, that's where the heat's at, folks. All right. This just turns this dish into a, oh my God, this just makes this dish 10 times better. You got to have that heat. And look at the color that it brings. It's got the green, the yellow, the orange. And that's what I like to do. You know, presentation's everything. So if you're going to go and get peppers like this and you have all different colors because some are riper than the others, you know, get one of each. Get you a yellow one. Get you a green one. You know, orange, red. So we're going to let this go for about 20 more minutes, and then we're going to add our rice. Hey, I was just messing with you. Of course you cover it for 20 minutes. And then remember, stir at least every 4 to 7 minutes. Come on, you know what to do. And while this is doing that, you know one thing that you should do? Clean. Therefore, that's less you got to do at the end of the cook. Now we're going to rinse our rice. This basmati rice is usually cleaner than a lot of other rices. All right, there we go. Right here. I am left-handed, so that's why I was draining on the other side. But as you can see, everybody knows how to do this. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just to get all that additional starch and stuff off. Just kind of, move your fingers around in it really good. And that's it. That's it. All right, so now it's time to add the rice and the black pepper. Now look, I do love me quite a bit of black pepper. And as you can see, that's quite a bit. That's about a teaspoon, but that's just to kind of cook a little bit of that deep into the soup itself. But I even like to add more black pepper when it's on the table. I mean, come on. Who can pass up black pepper? Anyway, look at that. Just beautiful. And as you can see, the mung beans are starting to float to the top. That's perfect. Now, it takes a lot longer for these to cook. That's why you add the rice later. Oh, yeah, it smells great. It smells just wonderful. You can smell those beans. They're very potent. So let's go ahead and get our rice in. Let's get it all in there. There we go. Now look at that. Some even got on the outside of the bowl. That's horrible. But I'm good like that, being able to get all of it in the soup. Come on, you're talking about me. Oh yeah, we're going to make this Turkmen dish the best in the world. Hey, Turkmenistan ain't got nothing on me. Look at that. Just look at that. Stir it in real nice, just like that. Let's get our black pepper in. Oh yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. Black pepper is one of my very favorite ingredients. One of my very favorite. Going way back to the 14th, 15th, and 16th century during the trades, and the Silk Road and all that. In order to get black peppercorn, you had to be wealthy. And there was like a mafia that controlled it. Literally a mafia that controlled it. And it was big money. I mean, it's almost like what drug cartels are doing today, They were like the cartels of spices, the big spice trade. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Today, it's on everybody's table, including the cheapest fast food restaurant that you can ever enter. Black pepper is readily available and peanuts on the dollar compared to what it was back in those days. So what we're going to do now, cover this and let this simmer for another 15 minutes. We got timer set, and we will be back. Well, we're about 4 minutes in, so let's take a look at it and see where we're at. Oh my gosh, that smell. It's got a very earthy smell to it. It smells so great. Let's take a look at that meat. Oh yeah, that meat is perfect. These carrots are going to be just right. You know what else I think would be great with this? Thyme. I think thyme would complement this soup really well. So let's give it another 3.5 minutes. All right, so I had to go a little bit over. Instead of 15 minutes, it was 25 minutes. Let's take a look and see where we're at. Oh yeah, look at that. You see how all that sits at the top? That's what you're looking for. That's what you want. That's what you want. That is real nice. Oh, yeah. That is perfect. Let's give it a try. We'll already know this is going to be extremely hot. The rice, the mung beans are just right. Not too mushy. They're not a little tough. They're perfect. Now we're going to give the carrots a shot. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's just right. It's not too soft. It's not too hard. It's got that little bit of bite that you're looking for. It's perfect. That's the right texture. Now we're going to go after that meat and see how tender this meat is. Now I know this is going to be hot. That's just right. Oh my God, that meat is so good. And when you're browning any kind of red meat like lamb or beef or deer meat, it doesn't matter if you don't cook it enough in the browning process, because once you start to put it into simmer with the rest of this, it's going to cook through. And it's even going to be more tender. They recommended on this recipe 5 to 10 minutes of browning. I say stick to 5 minutes. Stick to the minimum. Especially that we had to go an additional 10 minutes over the 15 in order for the rice to be done. Oh, yeah, it's just right. It's just right. So now we'll go ahead and let it cool for about 10 minutes. And we will be ready to chow down. So here it is, folks. Mung bean soup from Turkmenistan. I want you all to give this recipe a try. And tell me what your thoughts are. Be sure to put that down here in the comments. I would like to hear from a lot of you. And also, be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Also, hit that notification bell. Therefore, you're notified every time a new video comes out every Tuesday at 2:30 p.m. Thank you all for watching, and God bless.